Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Saturday, April 29th, 2023. We have some birthdays, we have some events. I am going to acknowledge at the beginning we know that this is Dale Earnhardt's, would have been his 72nd birthday. So we're going to put that out there and we'll review some of his cards here in just a few minutes. But we're going to start with the events. And it's really cool just some of these events, how they tie a little bit into Dale Earnhardt, his career and the numerology around his career and etc. So let's start with on this date, believe it or not, on his birthday in 1951, there was a Cup Series race ran at North Wilkesboro, the Wilkes County 150, won by Fonty Flock. Now, looking at the stats and looking at the box score and everything, I couldn't find anything. Ralph Earnhardt obviously wasn't in the race, and it was just a race from the 50s with the who's who of that time. But I just kind of thought that the ironic thing, the last place finisher in that race, Fireball Roberts, only completed 3 laps. So I just find that a bit ironic, little strange, little numerology there. Doesn't relate to Earnhardt other than just the 3. Going to some more recent events on this date, 1984, Jeff Bodine wins at Martinsville. Of course, that's the famous story of Hendrick was going to shut the team down, and Harry Hyde convinced him to race at Martinsville, and they went out and won, and the rest is history. Bodine also won at the track in 1990 for Junior Johnson. And, it's just kind of ironic that Jeff and Dale were such fierce rivals during this time. In 1995, the only race Dale Earnhardt ever won on his birthday was an IROC race at Talladega. So I kind of feel that's really fitting because he dominated the IROC series. On this day in 2001, the first birthday after Dale's passing, Rusty Wallace wins at California. So it's also fitting that since Dale and Rusty were fierce competitors on track, they were pretty close friends off the track. And in 2006, at Talladega on this date, Martin Truex Jr. won the Busch Series race. And if I remember correctly, I think this was the race where all the DEI cars were painted up with the black, silver, and red trim like the GM Goodwrench cars were. So anyway, we're going to get to the birthdays here really quickly. First birthday born on this date. Do we have any... I do have a cardless birthday. I've got cards of him, but I couldn't find them. I can't remember where I placed them. Born on this date in 1929. He passed away in 2010. Former NASCAR driver Larry Frank. Now to the cards. Born on this date in 1949. Former crew chief Howard Comstock. Of course, Howard was with the Roush team. This is literally all the Howard cards that I've got. So he was with Ted Musgrave's team and Wally Dallenbach's team. So that's where you're going to see a majority of his cards of in this era, the 16 car. If Wally would have had more oval experience or had a better time adapting to the ovals, I think he could have been a little more successful. But he only ran 2 full seasons, and Musgrave came on board in 94. They had the Family Channel, switched to Fam TV, and then Prime Star eventually came on board. And of course, Ted was released midway through 98, but not sure what Howard's trajectory was at that point. I really can't remember. Born on this date in 1993, current Xfinity Series driver Alex Labbe. Of course, Alex is one of these drivers that does really good on the road courses, and I think if given a quality ride, if he was in, because he's driving for DGM, which is or whatever it's called, DGM, Mario Goslin's team. It's like a B or a C level team at best. But I think if he was maybe in a Sam Hunt car or an Our Motorsports car, the next level up, I think you'd really see what Alex could do behind the wheel. Next up, born on this date in 1963, former winner in the Busch Series years ago, and current NASCAR official, Mr. Chad Little. So I put these in kind of somewhat of an order. He drove his own team, his family-owned team, with Bullseye Barbecue Sauce and Tyson as sponsors. He moved over to Cale Yarborough's Phillips 66 team in 92 before being released. Then he drove sporadically for Harry Melling that year in 93 and part of 94. Then middle of 94, he got hired by Mark Rippon to move to the Busch Series, where he drove the Bear-sponsored cars, and I believe they had Harris Teeter. Then they got John Deere as a sponsor. He'd run the Cup car for Mark Rippon a few times. Sterling Cowboy was one of their sponsors. Then that one's out of order. Then there's the Roush John Deere colors, and then Staff America colors for Bill Bumgardner's number 74 team, the Staff America car. I don't know if I have any pictures of that one or not, but we can zoom in. And I do have the car cards. There's the 19, that was the family-owned team we spoke of. And then there's the Phillips 66 car. He ran it in 5 races before getting released. The Bear and Harris Teeter. Of course, Harris Teeter bought out by Kroger, the big blue monster of retail next to Walmart. Of course, they also recently bought out Albertsons. There's the John Deere Pontiac in the Busch Series. There's the Fords they ran. There's the Sterling Cowboy car that they ran some. Then this is the Cup car, the Pontiac, that Roush would actually buy into this team and would have a Roush Racing logo on a Pontiac. Trying to see if they have it on this one. This car ran at Indy. Very nice colors. And that's when they switched to Ford. And I guess I do have a couple of the Staff America car. They did run a couple of paint schemes, and Chad was released somewhat early in the year. And I didn't remember that he did briefly run a few races in trucks. So again, part of this little project of going through and looking at all the different drivers and teams and so forth gives me a chance to, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So anyway, we've got the big birthday, of course, Dale Earnhardt. I could spend 2 hours going through all the Earnhardt cards, but we're going to keep this short and try to keep the video, 8 to 12 minutes or whatever. So anyway, pulled out some of the car cards here first. Of course, this was the team that was owned by Will Cronkite, the Cardinal Tractor car. There's the Osterlin car with Mike Curb sponsorship. Then with Wrangler sponsorship, started a nice relationship there. Then this was the Osterlin / J.D. Stacy car. When J.D. bought the team, Earnhardt bailed, went to Childress for a brief time with this look. Then, of course, he was with Bud Moore a couple years. And I don't have any of the cards with the other Wrangler cars. But most of the rest of this is just going to be iconic photos and pictures that I like. Alan and Dale, of course, between 90 and 1994, the first 5 years of the 90s, these are the only 2 guys that were champions. I did not like the plus on the hood. Don't know what your guys' thoughts are. I know that they was promoting their GM Goodwrench Service Plus. I just did not like the plus on the hood. Always thought that shot was a nice one. Can't go wrong with the Indy winged wheel logo there, the Brickyard. And this was during the 92 tire test, because you can see there's no pit access lane. That just looks like, well, it might be in turn 1, so it could be the pit access lane. But I just don't like the pit aprons. There's the Earnhardt, I think, could be considered the pioneer of the special paint schemes for the All-Star races. I did not have one of the Quicksilver car. The silver car he ran in 95. He ran this car in 96. 97 was this car, the Wheaties car. 98 he ran Bass Pro, which I don't have. In 99 he ran, I know in 2000 he ran Peter Max. When did he race in 99? I think he ran the Wrangler Throwback in 99. Maybe 98 and then 99 for Bass Pro. Here's one of his first cars. And then, just again, the Monte Carlo. He always had good looking cars. But yeah, I think Earnhardt and Childress could be considered pioneers in the era of special paint schemes. Yeah, there were special paint schemes done few and far between prior to the 94 or the 95 All-Star race, but I think that was the kickstart. So, and I'm going to show you some cards of Dale that I just really like the image, or I really like the card. I think those 2 just really capture the person, just smiling. We showed these yesterday in the video with the flea market finds, but I just think that that's a cool thing with the tornado in the background. We've showed these a couple times. These are the Braille cards that have a raised surface on the back from 93 Action Packed. I think that, yeah, this is also another one. So I thought that was super cool that Action Pack thought of that. Always like the oil can series. So we'll front and back these. These are the Brickyard sets. And there are so many variations or so many backgrounds of these. I got the little, whatever you want to call it. I always like the one that has the car in the back. So I can't tell you what sets that they came from, if it was a factory set, a pack, or what have you. 2000 Upper Deck. I believe it's 2000. Might be 99. Is 2000. Got an Upper Deck, or Press Pass Legends. This is 79 or 80 when that photo was taken. There's a good, I guess I did have one of the Wrangler car. This is the Fastback. He also drove this car in 85 with a notchback window. Always like the profile set. These were nicely done cards. Got a nice picture. This is going to be his 87 Cup Series Championship. Might be 86. Another iconic card. First time, whichever one came out first, Action Pack or Max, it'll be Kerry and Dale Jr.'s first time appearing, front and center on a card. Always like the Upper Deck salutes or Upper Deck welcomes Dale Earnhardt from 96. I believe I pulled this one out of a pack, a repack box. I don't know if I pulled it out of a pack, out of a repack box, or just one of the bonus items, per se. Always like the Badge of Honor with the shield with the car number. We got, this one's kind of fun. Tough Stuff magazine would have cards in them occasionally. There you see it, Tough Stuff Jr. So that's kind of fun. Always like these SPX or whatever, Maximum Effects Hollow View. We'll try to get the image of Dale. There you go. So see, he's very cool technology back in the day. This is the card 301 from the 96 set to make it look like a 95 card. And then an 88 Max. And we're looking at a field from 1987. This is definitely the fall Rockingham race. Davey was on the pole for both of these races. But in the spring race, Davey did not have the Haviland sponsorship. I believe there was some financial issues with the Texaco company going through some bankruptcy, so they didn't want to put their logos on the card just yet. But there you see Earnhardt, Elliott, Marlin, Bobby Allison. Looks like we got Shepard, Rudd, Kyle Petty, Brett Bodine, DW. There's Jeff Bodine, Ken Schrader. That would be Joe Ruttman driving in relief of Neil Bonnet, who broke his leg the week before. Looks like Bobby Hill in there, probably Cale Yarborough. Not sure who the rest of them are. Just trying to get a good look here. Terry Labonte behind Jeff Bodine's yellow car, and the rest of them I can't make heads or tails. But this was the manufacturer's battle, but of course had Dale and Davey there front and center. So anyway, like I said, I could go on a 2-hour video and showing all the Dale cards and talking about Dale and his iconic career, but we all know the story. We've all seen the highlights. We've all seen, everything from the pink race car to 01 at Daytona. There's nothing that I can say, there's nothing that I can add to it, because it's such a strong legend and legacy. So happy birthday to everybody that was celebrating birthdays today, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you come back and see us tomorrow. I do have some mail day stuff and some Target finds, and we'll rip something. Don't know what we'll rip, but we'll find something to rip for you guys. Thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.